My name is Srinivas Gowda. I'm working as assistant professor in IARE College. In the previous sessions, we have seen the hands-on queries. Today, we also will continue with the third session of the hands-on queries. Okay, let us get started. Now, here the question is to write a query to print the current date and time. So, your SQL server will be installed on a separate server. And if you need to get the current date and time, we have some inbuilt functions available in SQL Server or any database. Okay. For example, in SQL Server, the command is select get date function. So select get date function will return you the current date and time. There could be some other functions specific to vendor specific databases. For example, in MySQL you might have cur_date. There could be also something called as now in other databases. So, in order to retrieve the current date and time, it is vendor specific database command will be there. For example, for SQL Server, with the function is to get the current date and time, we have to use the get date function. We have to use the function get date. Similarly, we will have vendor specific date and time functions which are specific to what I mean to say is that Oracle will have its own command to print its date and time, and MySQL similarly Sybase and etc. For example, there could be a function like now which is going to return you the current date and time function. Similarly, we might have cur_date function to retrieve the current date and time. So this is useful. This date and why we need is this current date and time function is if we have some default columns applied on a database table. For example, date of joining. Instead of entering you manually, it automatically takes the current date and time. So these are the functions to get the default date and time functions. Okay. So the function name is get date. So get date in SQL Server will return you the current date and time function. Okay. Now we'll see one more command, into command. Okay. We'll see one more command called into command. So we have a table called worker. Suppose you want to copy the content of this worker into new table. Okay. You want to copy the content of the workers table to new table, we have to use the into command. Into command is a command in DBMS to copy the content from one table to another table following the same structure. So your structure will be retained. So here, for example, I have a workers table. So I have a workers table having 8 records here. 8 records. I have here 8 records. And these 8 records, I have worker ID, first name, last name, salary, joining date, department and manager. These are the columns I have in this workers table. Now I want a replica of this table. I want an exact copy of this table. So in order to have a copy of this table, what generally I have to do is that I have to create a new table. Create new table is the first step. Then I have to insert all these records. Mind you, suppose there are about 10,000 records, you have to write manually or you have to write some program to insert all the 1,000 records or 10,000 records. Which is waste of time. So your DBMS has given you a command called into command. This command is going to copy the content of one table to another table. So here I'm saying select star means all the columns into. Now into is the keyword here. Into the new table name is workers clone from worker. So from workers table is worker. So this command is going to do what? It is going to copy the content. It is going to copy the content from the workers table into workers clone table. So a copy of the workers table will be created, and all the content from the workers table will be copied to the workers clone table. Only restriction is that we have to make sure that the new table does not exist in the database table. So we need to just make sure that the new table will not exist in the database table. If the table is existing, we'll go to get an error, because in DBMS, every object is unique. So you cannot have two objects having the same name. You cannot have an object having the same name. So in this case, so you are saying select star means all the columns into workers clone is a new table name. So workers clone will be the new table name, and you want to copy from the table workers table. So all the 8 rows, all the columns will be copied to the workers clone table. Okay. Now here I like to tell you some more things here. Instead of star, you can mention the required columns. Suppose you don't want to copy all the 8 records, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't want to copy all the 7 columns. You want to copy only 2 of the columns. Then you can write here. Then you can write here select and write worker ID, or you want the first name. You want the first name, salary. You want the salary from the workers table. These columns will be copied from the workers table to the workers clone table. Okay, here you might have a doubt now. Suppose I want to copy all the structure. I don't want to copy the data. You might have a question now. The question now is that you might have to copy only the structure. I need only the structure. Later I will feed the data. Now, how do you make it possible? You see, when you say select star from workers clone, select star from, going to get the data here, because we have used the first command. To copy the data from the workers table to workers clone table. Now here it is copying all the records from this table. Now if I need to make sure that I don't want to copy the data, I need only the structure is there. Now here we have to introduce some false condition. So no, let me write the false condition here. I'm saying select star from workers clone. Select star from. Okay. Let me write down. Select star into workers clone. Is a table name. Okay, this is a table name. From, I want to copy from the workers table. I'm saying here, now here I'm writing a where condition. See, now what is the purpose of where condition? Is to filter the data. Now here I'm saying a where condition. Here I'm going to say 1 is equal to 2. So is 1 is equal to 2? One is never equal to 2. Now this is a false condition here. Now this is I'm introducing one false condition. By this false condition, when you execute this, select star from workers where 1 is equal to 2, you are going to get 0 records, because your condition is false. If you say 1 is equal to 1, then you are going to get all the records. But here I am saying 1 is equal to 2 means that means 0 records will be fetched. If I write here, if I remove this, if I write the where clause here, if I remove the where clause, if I write the where clause where 1 is equal to 2, then what is going to happen is that the workers clone table will be created, but it will not have these records. It will be empty. There will be no records in this database table. Okay, this is the into command. Into command is a command used to copy the content from one table to another table along with the structure and the data. If you don't want to have the data, introduce some false condition where 1 is equal to 2, or you can say 1 is not 1 is equal to 0, 1 is equal to some false condition. You can write where 1 is equal to 0 or 1 is equal to 2. Only condition that your condition should not satisfy. Then when your condition is not satisfied, you are going to get not any records. You're not going to get any records. Now we'll see a function. We'll see a write query. Now here I want to display all the workers excluding Amitabh and Vivek. See, I have this workers table. I have here 8 records. I have here 8 records. I have 8 records, right? Because 1 to 8, I have 8 records. Now, I want to display all the workers whose name is not Vivek and Amitabh. These 2 records I have to eliminate. That means when I have to eliminate 2 records, I should be getting here 6 records. I should be getting here 6 records. In order to write this query, we have to use the operator called as not in operator. Not in operator. Now we'll see the in operator and in operator is equal to operator. In operator by using in operator we can find multiple values. So I'll say in 1, 2, 1, 3, etc. So when a condition matches with any of these values 1, 2 or 3, your data will be written here. Similarly, is equal to is going to search for only one value. So by using is equal to, you cannot search for multiple values. But by using the in operator, you can search for multiple values. Suppose for example, where name in 1, 2, 3. If any of these condition matches, like it could be 1 or 2 or 3, if any of these condition matches, then it's going to get data here. The given query to us is here to display all the workers excluding Amitabh and Vivek. Suppose for that. So first we'll write a simple query to get the workers who belong to Amitabh and Vivek. So we'll write to select star from worker where first name in Amitabh, Vivek, as it is a varchar field, character field, we have to enclose in single quotes. Okay, we'll close this. Now this is going to, when you execute this query, select from worker where first name in Amitabh and Vivek. So what we are going to get out of the 8 records, only the condition is matching here. I said that in means it can search for multiple values. Here it is searching for the value called Amitabh, and Vivek. So Amitabh is the 4th record, Vivek is record. Now you are going to get only 2 records. Okay, you are going to get 2 records. Now here I am writing here. Now, but I want to exclude Amitabh and Vivek. So I am using here not in operator. So not in operator. Okay. So when I say not in operator, so my data will be coming as 6 records will be coming because I am eliminating Amitabh and Vivek. So when I exclude these 2 values, I am going to get values 6 records. So this is a not in operator. Not in operator is exact in operator. In the in operator, you can search for multiple values. Whereas if you go for is equal to operator, it searches for single value. And in operator is going to search for given values. Suppose you write in operators 1, 2, 3, it's going to search for values. If values is equal to 1, it will satisfy, it gives records. If 2 satisfies, it gives records. If 3 satisfies also, it gives records. Okay. An exact opposite to in is the not in operator. In the not in operator, what I am doing is that it will check the name should not be equal to Amitabh. So rest all will become, and also name should not be equal to, this is not equal to Vivek. Now this is the in operator. Okay. Now we'll see the substring function. Now we'll try to learn the substring function. So here the what is the query to ask is we need to print first four letters of the worker's last name. So we need to print the first three, four. What is it? Is first four letters, I believe. It is first three letters. Okay, first just remove this free. So the question is to print the first three letters of the worker's last name. So we have the worker's last name is here. Okay, we have the worker's last name. Okay, now we need to print the first three characters of the each name. So we have the substring function. We have to use the substring function. Okay, we have to use the substring function. In the substring function, it takes some arguments. It has some arguments. It takes what string to be searched upon. Substring is that out of given value in a column, you want to retrieve some part of it. So we have to supply what column you want to extract. So suppose I want to extract column as first name. I want to extract column first name. Then I want to extract column first name. Then I have to search where you want to start. At which letter you want to start. So I want to start at 1. And how many characters you want to search. Suppose I want to search. Here my question is to print first 3. So I need here 3. So see once again. Substring function is a function used to extract content from a column from the database. Okay, column from the a character database. Now it takes 3 arguments. Substring takes 3 arguments. The name of the column which you want to extract, and at where you want to start the extract, okay, and how many characters you want to extract. So here my question is to print three letters of the worker's last name. Okay. Now here so substring here first name or last name doesn't matter. So first name, last name. Here I'm saying here substring of first name, last name. I said first 3 characters. So starting at 3, I want 3 characters. So I want 3 characters. Now when I execute this, see here I'm writing here. You display me the first name. Actual column is here. Then you give me the first 3 characters from the given string. Okay, from given string here first name. Okay, now here Monica, Niharika, Vishal, all the values. Now I am saying here first 3. So first string starts with the. Now it goes to this column. It goes to this column value. It searches for the starting at first position. MON, NIH. So out of all the available 8 rows are there, it takes the first 3 letters. Okay, this is similar to we also have a function called as the left and right function. Left and right functions. This is no okay. In the left function, from the left side, it will pick the how many characters you want. So you can say left of first name, comma 4. Suppose if you write select left of first name, comma 4 from workers, you are going to get the first 4 letters of the thing. Here that means here you don't have a provision of starting at anywhere. Here you don't have the provision of starting at any point of C, but you have to start at the first position and you can search for how many letters you want. Similarly, just opposite is right. From the right side, you can extract it. But here in the substring, the beauty of substring is that it can start at any position. Substring, it can start at any position. So here as a first name, I'll say you start at 3rd position, give me 3 characters. Now what is this going to do? This function, the substring function, or the first name is going to start at the third position. Is going to start at the third position. Start at the third position, and it will give you 3 characters. Okay, this is a substring function. Similar to substring, we have a function called as left and right. We have a function called as left and right, left function, right function. But this is the only disadvantage of this is it always starts with the first character. So if I say select right of first name, comma 4 from the first name. So I'll get 4. I'll get A K I N. I'll get like this. For the name Monica, when I say the right of right of 4, it will give me 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, if I say instead of right, if I say left, I'm going to get MONI. Okay, this is the substring is to extract a part of a string, but it can start a new position and it can search for n number of strings. Whereas left and right functions work exactly same as the substring, but the only thing it does always start with the first position. They only start with the position. Okay, now write an SQL query to print workers whose manager is Niharika. Okay. Now, if you see this table, we have some we have some 8 records are there here. There are 8 records are available. 8 records are available. Now we need to print workers whose manager is Niharika. No, analyze this table correctly. There are 8 records are available here. There are 8 records are available here. No. Okay. Now see here. What is Niharika's worker name? So Niharika's worker name is number 2. So Niharika's worker name is 2. Now we have to see here. What is the 2 here? So 2 is there for Satish and Geetika. So Satish and Geetika are reporting to Niharika. So Satish and Geetika are reporting to Geetika. So we need to get output as Satish and Geetika. Because our question is to get workers whose manager is Niharika. So we need to get 2 records from this. So Niharika is a manager for 2 employees. Those employees are Satish and Geetika. Now we cannot directly write a query like saying that select star from workers where first name is called Niharika. Then you'll get only one thing. But we need to get whose manager is Niharika. For that we have to use a subquery. What is a subquery? A query inside a query. This is the main query. In this you write one more query. One more query. Now see here. Now try to understand the query here. Select star from worker. We know that this is a general SQL statement. Select star from worker. We know where manager ID. So we need to extract the manager ID of because we know that 2 is Niharika. We need to extract its manager 2. So I'm saying here select star from worker where manager ID in. So where in I'm writing one more subquery here. Select worker ID from worker where first name is equal to Niharika. So when I execute this query now here this is a 2 queries, main query, subquery. The output of this subquery will be passed to the main query. This is important point to be understood. The output of the inner query This is the inner query. This is the inner query. This is the outer query. This is the outer query. This is outer query. The output of this query will be passed to the main query. Now we'll see the query now. Select to start from worker. Okay, this is the workers table whose manager ID is here. Manager ID is now here. By the manager ID only we can get the employees. Where manager ID in select worker ID. Select worker ID from worker ID from worker, where first name is equal to Niharika. When I said that where the inner query will be executed, select worker ID from worker, where first name is equal to Niharika. This particular record will be retrieved. Now here I am only concerned about the worker ID. Here 2 is the worker ID. Now it comes to the outer query. It searches for the outer query is that select start from worker, where manager ID is in 2, because your inner query is giving you 2. Your inner query is giving you 2. Now you are going to get Satish and Geetika. Understood? This is a typical example of inner query. In the inner query, what is going to happen is that the output of the inner query will be passed as a input to the main query. I repeat once again. In this case, what is going to happen is that the output of the inner query is passed as an input to the main query. In the main query, now this is the main query. You are going to get here worker ID from worker, where first name is equal to Niharika. You are going to get the value of 2. This I am passing to the main query, where manager is equal to 2. Now that's why I am getting here 2 records. Understood? What is the purpose of the subquery? Here we cannot write only here a single query, because Niharika information here, if it was here also the manager worker's name, if it was here manager name, if the names are directly available, then you can directly write a query called select start from worker, select start from worker, where manager name is equal to, where manager name is equal to Niharika. But this is not the case here. Now your this column is having an integer value. So that's why you have to use the inner query. You have to use the inner query to get the data from the other table. Okay, this is something XML path function XML path here. So just if you ask to display your data into an XML format, data in XML format, you have to write a command called as for XML path. For XML path is a keyword here. This you have to remember. For XML path. Path single quote. Just remember this function. Now what this is going to do? It is going to see. It is suppose you want all the first names into as one column, separated by a comma. Okay. Now if you see here, Monica, comma, Niharika, like this, all these eight first names will be displayed as one column with a comma separate wall, because here I am using a comma separate symbol. If they ask you to display all the students into one column, it is not possible, because every student is there in different columns. But here a question is to make it into one column. So we have to make it into one column. So I am using the function called as for XML path. I am using a function called as for XML path. So what this is going to do for XML path? For XML path, for example path, it is going to take each first name, and it is going to append comma here, because here I'm separating with a comma separated value, comma separation. Here that is my comma separation. Now here we are given a query. Now we need to predict the output. What we have given: select worker ID, comma, first name from worker, order by to disk. We know order by is an operator in SQL used to sort the data, either descending or ascending. By default, it is ascending. If you don't mention anything order by some column, it is by default it is ascending. But if you want to make it descending, you have to write DSC. Okay, that is a command that we know. Now here, if you see carefully here, they are not giving you a column name. They are giving you some number, some numerical number as 1 or 2. In this case, as a number 2. Now can you predict the output here? You see the query once again. Select worker ID, comma, first name from worker. Okay, there are 2 columns. Order by to disk. Generally, after order by, you're expecting a column name. After order by, you're expecting a column name, but you're not seeing here a column name, but you're seeing here something called as 2. Now, what is this 2 means? This is the column order in the select query. Now here, what is the query here? Select worker ID, first name from worker. Now this is your first column. This is your second column. Now this is the first column. Worker ID is the first column, and first name is second column. You're select star from worker, order by to descending. When I say order by to descending, now here what is the second column? First name. Now my data will be sorted by. Now this is similar to writing like this: order by first name descending. So instead of writing here order by first name descending, I made it as order by 2 because here my 2 is my second column in the select statement. My 2 is the second column. Instead of writing here 2, if I write here 1, my data will be sorted by the workers ID in descending. But here the question is, they are given you, the question is to sort by first name the descending. Now this is here the 2 means the column order in the select statement. Here 2 is the select. Here when I say 2, it is the column order in the select statement. Now you see the data here, order by first name. So order by, this is your actual data. Now we are sorting by first name descending. So first we are going to get Vivek, Vipul, and last letter will be Amitabh, because we are sorting it. We are sorting it in the how we are sorting it in the descending format. Just remember, order by 2 means that this 2 is depending the column order in the select statement. This 2 is the second column. Okay, now we'll see our next question. Write a query to print minimum, maximum, average salary from the workers table. This is a query to write. Now you are asked to write a query to print the minimum, average salaries on the workers table. So we have to use the aggregate functions here. Now what are the various aggregate functions we know? We know that min is there, max is there, then average is there, then variance is there, sum. All these are the various aggregate functions. So min of salary, min of salary, max of salary, average of salary, average salary. So out of this, what is the min of salary? So min of salary is now here. This is updated data. Min of salary will be 15,000. 15,000. The maximum salary would be 90. Maximum will be 90. Maximum will be 90. And the average, you have to print the average of this. You have to print the average of the average means you have to total sum it by divided by number of records. You are going to get the average of the records. On next question, we here how to find out the workers who are drawing more than the average salary. Now again, this is an inner query. We have tried two queries. Both are outer query, inner query, and I have already told you that the inner query output will be passed as an input to the outer query. So output, this inverts outer query, inner query. The output of the inner query is passed to the outer query. Now what I am supposed to do is that I am to print the average salary who is drawing more than average salary. In the previous example, we know how to get the average salary. Select average salary from worker. Average salary from worker. Select average salary from worker. We are going to get the average salary. Now we need to know the workers who are drawing more than the average salary. For that, we have to write select worker ID, first name, and salary from workers, where salary greater than the average salary of the worker. By this statement, we are able to get the average salary. Now our condition is that we need to find out those workers who are drawing more than the average salary. Here the average, now in the previous example, we have seen the average salary was 42,125. Now we need to get all those employees who are drawing more than 40,125. So the matching condition are 50,000, 50, 75, 90. So we will be getting these 4 records, because here the average salary is 42,000. Anything more than that should be retrieved here. In this case, anything more than that should be retrieved. So we are getting here these values. These values. Okay. Now okay. Now this is going to test your skills on the date functions. Now here they have given a date. We have to pass that date into year, month, and year. Date, month, and year. We have to pass. Now this is the date here. Now this is the date here. This is the date column here. We need to pass this data. Now, here they wanted to parse as you have to separate the year. You have to also separate the month, and this month have to display it in the as characters as a month name, and also you have to display the date. Okay. Now here we will see the query here. Okay. We have to use the function something called as date part. The date part, it takes 2 arguments: the format to be returned and the input parameter. Here I want to in the date part I am saying date part of year. So out of this year, you are going to, out of the given date, you are passing this date. So first the date will be passed. Then we need to calculate then we have to also get the month name. If I write here date part of month, I'm going to get 02, 06, 00. For that, I'm using something called as date name function. So I'm using the function here called as date name. It takes also two parameters. The month you have to display as a month name, as a month name, and I also month name. I also have to get the date part again of year. So date part of year is going to give you a date. Date part of year is going to get a year, and the date part of D is going to give to you the date. 1/14, 20th, all these dates. Only thing is that that date name is going to give the month as a month name. Okay. Now this is to test your skills on the again date function called as date diff. So date diff is going to give you the difference between two dates. Okay, it takes the arguments. You can get the date difference in years, months, or days. Okay, now here I want to get the difference in years. Years. I have to pass the two dates. So date 1, date 2. Date 1, date 2. These are the two dates. I have to pass. If I pass these values, I will be getting the date difference between these two columns. Here, out of this, here I am using an aggregate function called the min function. So the min function is here. 2009 is the oldest date, and the newest date is 2014. The difference between of this is 5 years, because here I want to calculate the difference in years. Instead of here days, I can also write month and also write days here. This function will give you the difference in years. Okay, now next function is to test your string functions. If you want to make it all the letters into the uppercase, then we have to use a function called as upper. Similarly, we have to use a function called as lower to display all in the lower cases. Upper is uppercase. Now the last question for this session. Now, how do you find out a duplicate records? How to find a duplicate records with one field or with more than one field? So for this, we have to use the group by having clause. Suppose I have some data like this. I have users table, and I have here name and email. So my email is xyz@yahoo.com. Again, username I have xyz@gmail.com. Again, I have something called b x@yahoo.com. Again, b x@pdf.com. These are the four values. Now, if you want to get duplicate fields in here, now if suppose I have two persons having the same email, here I'm saying here you group by email. So when you say group by email, all the emails will be grouped, or each email will be a distinct email. In that, now we want to get suppose you want to retrieve, though if there are any two emails same, then you have to use the having function, having count greater than 1. So this is going to tell you which users are having the duplicate emails. This is for one field. Suppose if there are more than one fields, suppose I also find out name and email also. So here I'll include two columns in the group by. Then I will say having count star greater than 1. By this I will be able to get the duplicate records. Thank you. This completes the hands-on part 3. Thank you. Have a good day.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.